There was something magical that happened in that foyer space. It went from a very unwelcoming space to a thriving space of kindness. It was just a space that I would walk into and immediately feel welcome and involved and a part of something much bigger than myself.
It was just a normal thing that people said, we feel so comfortable. There's an aura. People come in and say, there's an aura about the space.
There's a sense that you're walking into history. There isn't another space like that where it feels like what was historically preserved and what the space was turned into, it was like a conversation of two parts just completely gelling together.
You walked into the place and immediately you want to drink, you want to talk, you want to say hi, you see people you haven't seen before, and too many times I am in theatres and the audience is gone before I've even taken off my eyelashes, and I'm faster than they are usually. So there was a social enjoyment of a night at the Fugard Theatre.
It really was a space where you felt like you could hang out, where you felt like you could, really chill or really talk or really even also debate.
The Fugard became famous for keeping its foyer space open long after the performances ended. You could visit in the foyer until 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know that's certainly been a special part of other venues in Cape Town's theatre history over the decades.
Iris is formidable in all senses of the word. She was primarily front of house manager, but she was much, much more than that.
And the Iris is synonymous with the Fugard. We know this. It wouldn't be the Fugard without that.
Iris was one of the original members. She was there right from the beginning, from when it first opened in 2010, all the way to when it closed in 2020.
I've never met anybody in my life who has the ability to retain the information of name and face and birth date and place and families and siblings. Iris was the ultimate host.
She completely absorbed anybody that came into the door and also pushed us as a management, to make the experience better and better and better.
All of us, we want that recognition and that welcome, and it's just lovely to remember people's names and their faces and welcome them back.
Generally speaking, the Fugard raised the bar in terms of the overall experience. From the minute you engage with our box office to when you arrived at the Fugard and you were greeted by those incredible security team, our bar staff, our front of house staff, it was an entirely different theatrical experience.
One of the things somebody said to me at the Fugard, and he says, you know what, it's better than a movie. This experience has gone and made me go, I'm now gonna go take my wife and see other shows at other places.
The Fugard offered a welcoming space to performers, to its staff, to its audiences.
Eric enabled us, and the Fugard and Daniel and everybody worked there. The whole sort of philosophy was like enabling people.
Traditionally, actors have been mistreated in the past, and people in theatre have been mistreated. So we really wanted to try and change that and try and foster and create a space where artists could feel safe and valued, because what would then happen is they would give you the very best of themselves, which means the audiences would get the very best performance, which means they would come back.
It's a small space, but somehow there was an effort to make it comfortable for everybody. And I think for me, that really, really works. That small crew in a small space with big ideas. I think that was an amazing thing.
I felt like I was treated as an actor and as an artist. I felt like I was treated like a professional. On the first day of any production, all the actors and heads of department meet downstairs in the foyer, and everybody is introduced. Their roles, their responsibilities, where you can find them, and you're made to feel really comfortable. Then you're led across the road to the rehearsal room, and you do this incredible table read, and you're shown the set, what it looks like, how much space you'll have. On the very first day, the rehearsal room is marked out for you. While you're in rehearsal, I might be using a pen and I say, I think a pencil will be better. And within 15 minutes, you'll have 3 different kinds of pencils that you can use.
Whatever you needed for the betterment of the production, it's really just like this.
That level of care and detail about how to make it as easy as possible and as comfortable as possible for an actor to be able to do their work is not something that you see regularly.
Even the ideas, if we were talking about an idea of perhaps even marketing the show, it doesn't take you 24 hours. It's literally within a space of an hour, it's already communicated to everyone. I love that. I love that about the Fugard Theatre.
It was an exciting space to be. It was one of those theatres where it was so on the map that everybody wanted to be seen there for an audition and get a foot in the door to like start building their own portfolio.
It was a very on-purpose thing that we wanted people to feel held and to feel like that they were worth their talent, that they were giving us.
Now that the Fugard is done, what we did exists, and it's done, it's over. People will always have that measure to compare things to, and that, I think, is a good thing. One of the other major theatre managers in Cape Town said to me, now we truly have no competition, when the Fugard closed. And I took that as a great compliment. You know, that to say that we were seen as a standard against which to compare, that's quite great. It will live on in memory as an establishment that was world class.